Hello students, I am Nakul. Welcome to the video tutorial of Android application development. In this video, we are going to discuss another important topic of Android application development, which is activity lifecycle. So let us discuss today's agenda. First, we will discuss what is an activity. Then after, we will discuss Android activity lifecycle. So let us start with activity. In Android, every single screen consists of two different files. One is Java file and another one is XML file. And this Java file is called as activity. Now, let us discuss different steps to create an activity in Android. So, the first step to create an activity is create a Java class, and this Java class must be a subclass of android.app.activity. Now, the question is how to make our Java class a subclass of android.app.activity. So, to inherit properties of activity class to our Java class, we need to inherit this activity class to our Java class. So, let us take an example here. Let us say we have a Java class called as mainActivity.java and make this mainActivity class a subtype of android.app.activity. So we need to extend this activity class to our mainActivity class. So mainActivity extends activity. So this is how we can create an Android activity in Android. Now the question is, what is a need of extending this activity class? Now to understand this question, first we need to understand lifecycle of activity. So let us understand the Android activity lifecycle. So this activity having four different states. First state of activity is doesn't exist state. Second is activity is in foreground state. Third is activity is in background state, and activity is in pause state. Now, this activity having 7 different methods. Those methods are onCreate, onStart, onResume, onPause, onStop, onRestart, and onDestroy. So, these are 7 major methods of an activity, which are onCreate, onStart, onResume, onPause, stop, restart, and destroy. Now let us discuss these methods working. So first, let us say we have an install app in our Android phone, but we didn't open that app. So that time our application is in doesn't exist state. Now once you click on that application from menu, you will give one activity into our foreground, or we can say one activity is going to start. Then our application will come in foreground state. So when an activity comes from doesn't exist state to foreground state, then Android platform is going to call 3 different methods, which are onCreate, onStart, and onResume. So by calling these major methods, we can say activity is in foreground state. So right now our activity is in foreground state, which is known as running state. When another activity comes in foreground, then our current activity will be entered into background state, or which is known as top state. So when current activity comes from foreground state to background state, then our Android platform or system is going to call 2 different methods, which is onPause and onStop method. So from now we can say current visible activity is in foreground state and previously visible activity is in background state. Now, when you get a call from another person or you are going to press power button, then your current visible activity will not going to destroy, but the current visible activity comes in pause state. Then our Android system is going to call a method which is onPause method. Now, when your call has been ended, then your previously visible activity will come in foreground state again. So, when an activity comes from pause state to foreground state, then our system or Android OS is going to invoke a method that is onResume method. Now remember one thing, all the activities are going to maintain in a stack. Now, when you click on the back button from current visible activity, then your current visible activity is going to destroy. So, once you click on the back button, then your current visible activity will come from foreground state to destroy state, which is also known as doesn't exist state. And when an activity comes from foreground state to destroy state, then system is going to invoke three different methods. Those methods are onPause, onStop, and another one is onDestroy method. Now let us talk about when an activity comes from background to foreground state. So, if you are going to open your application from recent tabs, then your activity comes from background state to foreground state, then system is going to invoke three different methods. Those are onRestart, onStart, and another one is onResume method. So this is all about life cycle of Android activity. Now the question is, who is going to maintain all these different things? So in Android, there is not any single mechanism which is going to maintain this Android activity lifecycle. You just need to create a class and inherit a built-in class of Android which is activity class. So students, this is all about how Android activity lifecycle works. Now we will see different use of these 7 methods of activity lifecycle, which are onCreate, onStart, onResume, onStop, onRestart, and onDestroy. So let us start with onCreate. So in case of C, C++ and Java, main method is going to call first when you are going to execute your program. But in case of Android, execution of a program will start with onCreate method. So this onCreate method will be invoked when a new activity is created, and onCreate method is also used to initialize a new activity. So this is all about onCreate. Now let us discuss the next method, which is onStart. So onStart method, which is invoked by Android after onCreate method. So it is also called when an activity will be visible again to the user. So when this method is going to invoke, then the next method will be called by compiler is onResume method. So let us discuss about onResume. OnResume is a method which is invoked after onStart. OnResume method is used when your activity will again visible to the user and start interacting with user. So once your OS will invoke onResume method, then you can start interacting with your application. Now, when you stop interacting with your application or you have pressed a lock button, then your activity will come in background state. So when your activity comes in background state, then the first method will be invoked by Android OS, that is onPause method. So let us start with onPause. This onPause method will always call before the activity is not visible anymore, or we can also say activity will come into background state. Now this onPause method is such an important method of Android activity lifecycle because onPause is used to release resources or saved application data. So this is all about this on pause method. Now let us discuss on stop. So on stop method will be invoked after an activity is not visible to the user. Now as you can see here, I have highlighted after. So this is the only difference between on pause and on stop, which is on pause will be invoked before activity is not visible to user, and on stop method will be invoked after activity is not visible anymore to the user. And this on stop method is going to store data into database after our activity is not visible to the user. Now after this on stop method, you are going to stop interacting with your application. Then if you want to start interacting with activity or application, then your system will invoking a method which is on restart. So let us discuss about on restart. This on restart method is going to call when an activity is being started again, which means when you open your app from recent app, then the first method will be invoked, that is on restart. And at last we have a method which is on destroy. Now this on destroy method will be called when an activity is destroyed by the system, or we can say when your application will getting crashed by some exceptions or error, then system will call on destroy method. And we can also call this on destroy method manually using program. Now to call this on destroy method, first you need to put your activity into terminate state or doesn't exist state. So by using finish method, we can send our activity into terminate state. And once your activity will come in terminate state, then your system will invoke this on destroy method. So student, this was all about description of all methods. Now we will see exact diagram of activity lifecycle. As you can see here, this is the exact diagram of Android activity lifecycle. As we have discussed, the first method will be called by Android OS, that is on create method. After on create we have on start. Then we have on resume method. So after on resume method, our activity will be in foreground state. Or we can say a user can interact with this application after invoking on resume method. Now once you click on the home button or you click on the power button, then on pause method will be called. Once on pause method is called, then your activity will no longer visible to the screen. So after on pause, on stop method will be invoked. Now when you open your application from recent app, then your activity will visible again to the user, and when your application or activity visible again to the user, your Android OS will invoke on restart method. And at last we have on destroy. On destroy method will be invoked by the system, or we can also invoke it manually by using finish method. So this is all about Android activity lifecycle and its method. Now let us discuss some important questions related to this tutorial. First question is, list the different methods of Android activity lifecycle. Then second question is, use of on pause method. Then third question, use of on stop method. Then fourth, once your application is destroyed, then which method will be invoked by system, and last, use of on restart method. So students, this is it for today's video. Thank you for watching this video. Now in the next video, I am going to show you the implementation of Android activity lifecycle. So stay tuned with us, keep learning, stay happy, bye.